So I'm trying to remember, Alex, were you with me in the room when Steve made the announcement? I know Scott Bourne was. I think you were.
I
think you were sitting next to me.
Yeah, I think I was, yeah.
Yeah. It was you on my left, Scott
there.
Bourne on my right. I don't remember if Merlin was there or not. The original Mac Break team. And Scott Bourne had been talking for 2 years on Mac Break Weekly about how he couldn't wait for the iPhone.
Didn't he throw his Trio on the floor and stomp on it as soon as it was announced, and then find out it was 6 months away?
Yes, I think he did. Let me get the Steve Jobs iPhone announcement up here for you.
What a great! I rewatched it again yesterday. Just what an artist at the height of his powers.
This, I think, absolutely Steve at his absolute best. I'm not sure which will be.
Well, it's chiefly just.
Here we go.
James Brown.
James Brown. Good God. Skip ahead a little bit to about a minute in on this. This is him just coming out on the stage. This is during Macworld Expo, so he's at the Moscone West, the giant auditorium there.
Throw in with us as 2006.
I think
it's 1 minute in, a little bit back. There'll be a glowing apple. Oh, actually, no, more than 1 minute in on this. There'll be you were there. Go backwards. No, way back. You're way far ahead. I don't know, maybe not.
They're still using the same keynote template.
You go to
in 7 months, but we didn't do this alone.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I thought you had it queued up.
We did this with lots and lots of lawyers. Lots of lawyers.
Lots and lots of lawyers. So pause for refreshment while I pull
I put the link in the show notes. The direct one.
Yeah. Thank you. There we go.
What I was going to say is that the real thing is, like, you could see that he has been dying to give this keynote for 1.5 years, 2 years, and he's just excited as anything just to finally be able to show this thing off.
But there's a backstory, because we also know that this was a very unlikely to succeed demo, and the engineers were all sitting in the front rows with a bottle of liquor, and each time the engineer responsible for any part of the demo's section passed successfully, take a shot, and they ended up drunk.
Anything involving a radio was not good.
There were only a handful of working iPhones. He had 2 on stage in case the first one failed, and there was one exact and only path that Steve could take through the demo that would work. Anything else would guarantee to crash it. Here, let's watch. Because when you know that, Steve's presence and centeredness is remarkable, given the risky terrain he's about to enter.
Well, he knows he's not going to get fired.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple.
Let's skip ahead just
It changed the whole computer industry.
Although it's coming up pretty quick. I'll let him continue through. It's fun to watch this. A master in his prime. He's not ill at this point, right? He's very
2001.
Thin.
Yeah.
We introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry.
Yeah, no, he looks healthy here.
Well, today we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls.
Now, let me pause for a moment and ask you, Rene, you weren't in the audience. You were probably 12 years old when this happened.
No, it was right before I started working, like 2 months before I started working at iMore or something.
Andy, you must have been, though, right? You were going to Macworld.
I was there.
Yeah. So, Alex and Andy, we all thought there was going to be an iPhone, right? But there wasn't, but no confirmation. Of course, this is back when Apple really had the lid on things, so there was no sneaky rumor, right?
Well, and I had this feeling when this part happened, I was like, oh no, we're not going to get the phone. Like he was talking about an iPod. I was like, iPod,
widescreen iPod, right?
It was an incredible buildup.
In fact, the applause at that point is a little lukewarm.
Yeah, they're like, what?
We thought there would be a phone at this announcement, though, right, Andy? I mean, we were pretty sure there was.
Yeah, that was pretty much a lock, but they had a really good leash down on what the details of that device would be, and I don't think anybody was expecting anything like the iPhone. They were certainly expecting something much better than than something that looked like this, say. But no one had the forethought to say, no, it's going to be an all touch screen thing. There's going to be only one mechanical button. So there's an immense amount of excitement because it's not that, oh, well, maybe we'll finally get an update to the iMac this year, or maybe we'll get, this is the one where we'll get the touch bar on the new MacBook. There's going to be a brand new product that we've absolutely never seen before, and nobody knows exactly what form it's going to take. There was an immense amount of excitement.
I think we thought that. I do. And I think Scott Bourne, as I remember, was saying, he called it the iPhone, but nobody knew even what the name was going to be. That just seemed like, that was a placeholder. So I'll skip back just a second so you can hear the applause when he says.
The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls.
There's some good cheering there, but I don't know.
This is when video was brand new on the iPod. So
right. Okay.
The second is a revolutionary mobile phone.
That's the cheering. Because now that confirms what we'd suspected. There's a phone. But we're still puzzled. Go ahead, Rene.
If you think about it for a second, that very first slide took Apple's most successful, most profitable product of the day and deprecated it to an app in one sentence.
Isn't that amazing? That's a good point. Isn't that amazing?
And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device.
People a little more puzzled at this point. Like,
but look at that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, Rene, no one knew at the time whether this was going to be a success or not. I mean, Apple fans, we were all very excited and wanted it, but there was even Apple didn't know how big a success it was.
People thought it wouldn't be an
well,
excess. One phone on one network for $600.
Right. Well, we didn't know that yet.
And the phone companies were telling us how complicated.
Go ahead.
The phone companies were like, all the phone companies that make phones, I don't think that Apple understands how complicated making phones is. They're gonna learn.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought, why would Apple want to get in this awful, horrific business?
So, 3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator.
iPod. Oh, now we start. Now it's. Oh.
Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
And that was it. That was it, man. I'll never forget that moment.
yeah.
And I'm sure Scott Bourne was at that point had leapt to his feet.